All the hours of contemplation, of suffering, of emotional turmoil, all of this is meant for the sole purpose of finding your freedom. The time that you invest in doing so, the strengthening of your mind's muscle, the resolve of your soul. The only reason that we engage in these things is so that we may find ourselves to be more free. We are meant to realize the great abyss of ourselves, of existence, but not to turn away from it. To understand it, we must hold it in our hands. So we must venture toward it. We must bask ourselves in that abyss, in the depths, in the confines, both a vacancy and a suffocation, a constriction. We must go to that place. We must wear these feelings on our sleeves. We must seek them out. Leave no stone unturned. Because this is the necessary step for clarity. Clarity does not simply come about. We do not all of a sudden simply become absolved of the inclinations of our passions, of our emotions. They're always with us. But as you are when you begin anything anew, you're green. You're untested. And at times you will be tested and you will fail. But of course you'll fail. For that is how metal hardens. That is how it becomes better. You are the metal worker, crafting yourself, molding yourself, and it is only through the test of arms that you should see what you're really made of. And a suit of armor that's never seen a day of battle, while glorious in appearance, certainly, nothing can be said for how good is it really? What is it really made of? What can it really take? And so we go to that dark place. And we should be authentic. We should be true. We should be willing to look at everything that's there because it is objectively there. And then we could discern between which things are merely the productions of anxiety and fear and trauma, and which things are truly indicative of our soul. That we might detach ourselves from those things that are unbefitting for us. As Marcus Aurelius says, he must not be like them. He must not become obsessed with himself in the mirror. This passive thought, this passive hunger, the wanton flitterings of the flesh, the passions, you cannot escape them. Why should you even try to escape them? That's fleeting. They're always going to be there. You need only recognize when they reveal themselves and turn the other cheek. That which is not fed does not grow fatter. And so you start to see the dichotomy of yourself, the dichotomy of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions when you're in that dark place. You start to see yourself, reveal yourself. This is where acceptance can truly take place. There was a time in my life where I deeply loathed myself. A time where I believed I had to force affection for myself. But this is not so. That which is forced is not genuine. It is just a feeling. And so there is no great loss or defeat to say and recognize the true facet of the emotion with perhaps dissatisfaction with yourself. Take it in your hands, measure it, and then put it away, for it is a feeling. It's not indicative of your soul. It's not what you were put here to do. It's not representative of that potential within you. It's just a feeling. And so therein you could recognize how maybe some of these feelings are running amok. Perhaps you're not as accord with yourself as you would have thought that you were. Thus allows the detachment. Start to discern between the ramblings of your mind and figure out, oh, perhaps these thoughts are the ones that I feel are indicative of me, and these others, well, I'm not so sure. That which is not fed does not grow fatter. Discern the separation of your thoughts. Liberate yourself from that which has been grafted onto you. Believe in yourself. The sovereignty and solitude of your own soul is the greatest that you will ever know. There are those around us who do not understand this and do not know better. You can't necessarily blame them. When the vessel is taking on water and sinking, despair sets in. And just the same as we cannot defeat the feelings for hunger, defeat the body's need for sleep and how it should produce the thoughts for you to find comfort, nor can we always steel ourselves as we might like in the face of grave danger. And that is the grave danger. The confrontation of ourselves with the fiber of our souls. This does inspire great fear in those around us. Panic sets in. We can't always control what we'll do in those situations. But recognize that that's the case. Train the muscle. Harden the steel. For the greater the habit, the more habitually that you actualize yourself, that the steady beat of yourself thrums more and more often through more and more things, then the beats of yourself will also persist among all other sorts of noise. You will still be there. You will remember yourself. You will actualize yourself. You will rise above the animal. You will act separately from the beast within you. But if you do not practice this, then it will never come. And so now you've basked yourself in the abyss. You've taken measure of all these dark and ugly things, and so what? What does it matter? What does it all mean? You must begin to see that you are not defined by any of it that is there. We don't incur a debt for failing to invoke ourselves, so long as we have the capacity to realize that we have done so. And then, invoke yourself. Act in a manner that is genuine and true. Have no fear, or take heed in fear, for fear is a necessary condition of courage. And it is courageous to believe. It is courageous to believe that it is not worthless, not meaningless, not an empty void of nihilism and absence. That's the power of your belief. You begin to believe that your actions matter. You begin to believe that what you do matters. And be not convinced by all that around you that commands you otherwise. What you do does matter. How you invoke the essence of your soul truly matters. Truly, bar none. Epictetus says that it is the mastery of impressions, of aversion, that we should find freedom. That we never experienced anything that we don't like and don't want to experience by failing to control ourselves in the face of all things that would impress upon us an inclination to do something. That we know which things to turn away from. That we know which things to indulge and which things not. That if we are not tempered and deliberate in this endeavor, we will be in flux, swallowed by the perilous unknown, or the perilous fluxation of the subjective. In the throes of passions, always, swinging like the pendulum, heavily and always in motion, never still, never steady. You'll travel back from the abyss. That is the key step. You go to that place, you see these things grafted upon you. You recognize that they're there. You bear the visage of that which is ugly, that which you hate, that which disconcerting, unsettling, revolting, that which frustrates you and angers you. You see that it's there. And it is by bearing witness that you have caught the chink in the armor. And so pry those things off of yourself. Recognize that they're there and discard them. And then return. The key step, return from that place. The sun is still gentle upon us. The birds do still sing. You'll catch yourself in a moment and you'll be smiling. You'll be laughing with joy. You will still feel the very same things as you did before you traveled to that place. The purpose is to take inventory of self, to command and be the pilot, that you would commandeer, move yourself. That is how you can be in accord with destiny. That's how you can be freed. You are supposed to go through the torrent, weather the tempest, endure all such horrendous and horrific devastation. Turn the inner eye. For when these things have gone through you, over you, only you will remain. Frank Herbert's quotation in this regard was quite profound. Fear is the mind killer that brings total death and obliteration. It is only a feeling. Discern yourself from feelings. To be free. That the beats of yourself persist. So that you might go back to experiencing moments. Because humans will never live any other way. We are meant to find ourselves caught up in the moment and having a good time. We're meant to do that. It's just not meant to be unobserved, unmeasured, unappreciated. So take assessment. Do your due diligence. That you might be more free, more appreciative, more present, more aware, when it should come that you find yourself in a new moment. All of it is meant to help you live. Not punish yourself, not stay contemplating such grave notions all of the time, that you surrender your ability to live. To live is a gift, given only once, as far as we can be presently and reasonably aware. And when we shall die, death is not the end of life, it is a part of life. And we should hope to go about that final deed, that final component, with dignity, if we can be so lucky. Life is a gift. We are meant to be like children, infatuated with the wind-blown leaves of trees, the dance of grass in the breeze. The world, when it can, celebrates the innocence of children, that they might dance and play. The world so vivid with color, impossible to be saturated, that it could always take more and more color, laughter, love, more crying, heartbreak, or not so different. Just that once matured, the world does not celebrate the same way those throes of yourself. So travel to that place. Ponder these things about yourself. Bear witness to yourself, truly. And once you have done this, come back. Be changed by it. Be different. Be deliberate. Be true. Because it matters. It truly matters. That your strides on earth be free. As free as they can be. And that when not, as often as you can, you return yourself to that place. That of appreciation, of forgiveness, of trust, of love. And it will be painful, and we will be hurt by people. We'll make mistakes. It's going to happen. You'll get caught up in the throes of things, or somebody else will. And you'll hurt them, and they'll hurt you. And the essence of that, the throes of that, the ebb and flow of those passions, that's what we're here for. That's life. That's why we are alive. Just don't forget to be a conscious observer of that. To love it. That bar none, when the moment of death arrives, you should do it standing tall, with your chin straight, grateful for everything that you were given the opportunity to perceive, to feel. All those who you could see. The greater depth with which you can see yourself, equally so can you then perceive the death of those around you. And what greater joy is there than that? To have bore witness. So try to venture to this place of yourself. Try to free yourself. The chains weigh heavily. Those around us who we call friends, who we must rely upon, for we are meant to count on those around us, should they be honest and true as we try to be. They can lift up the slack of our chains. They can help us where they can. But only you can step forth, truly, into the quiet place. Only you can do that.